he's back with a posh pudding that you can make in just 10 minutes. It's one of the recipes from his new book. Here it is, Ramsay in 10, and it's all about quick and tasty food. This was a bit of a challenge, first of all, on your YouTube channel, wasn't it, that's now inspired this?
It actually inspired across lockdown.
Yeah.
So what do we do? You know, check in with the staff on a daily basis, and then we went live every Friday night, and all of a sudden there's 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 people.
Eh?
So it was like cooking in 10. What do you have for tea round at the Ramsays? So that's how it got inspired.
Because the thing is, you can look at a lot of chefs. I mean, you make really, really beautiful, expensive, elaborate food. But sometimes you can be really simple. Absolutely.
And also, I think it's like, you know, thinking on your feet. That moment in lockdown, in all honesty, you know, 15, 16 months ago, no one's ever turned around and said, hey, pause, you're not travelling anywhere, restaurants are shut. And so it was the time we'll never get back again. Yeah. So we turned that negative into something super positive and then literally started going live every Friday night. And then fingers crossed, Tilly gets involved, Meg gets involved, Holly gets involved, Tana gets involved, Oscar's there with the tasting. So this was just an idea coming out of, you know, we grew up with very little food, but what we did have was just tasty. Yeah. So eggy bread was like this sort of little exciting treat. And so Mum's going to kill me because we just elevated this one with croissants. Yeah. Leftover croissants. Everyone thinks you can't eat them because you have to eat them on the day. That's a Fred Sirieix thing. That's a French thing.
And also huge waste.
Of course you're going to eat a bloody croissant 2-3 days after. Yeah. And so this is just a way of sort of taking it to the next level. So actually quite hard. Yeah. Not stale, but just hard. So we've got a little bit of pastry cream here. OK?
What is that?
Pastry cream?
Pastry cream is just sugar, eggs, cream, a little bit of vanilla.
Do you buy it as pastry cream?
Phil, it's a custard.
Oh, it's custard.
Custard. Sorry,
custard.
I'm so sorry. So it's custard.
Don't get chippy with me.
OK. So it's custard, but it's just a really nice custard.
OK.
OK, and so I say pastry cream, but anyway. So it's a custard. Little nozzle at the end. Pipe it in and just literally squeeze. And all we're doing is like sort of, you know...
Can I ask you a question, and don't shout at me? Could I open a tin of custard and squirt that in there if I had a posh nozzle? Like, seriously.
Why do you do that?
Well, because in my 10 minutes, if I had to whip up a pastry cream, I might be there for a bit longer. But if it's a custard, could I? Come on, you know it's yes.
Yes, yeah, you could. But here's the thing, chill it first, OK? Because sometimes when you open those, you know, cans, there's a lot of E numbers there, OK?
Oh, really?
They get hot, they all go a little bit wobbly. So chill it so it gets nice and firm so you can pipe inside. So now they're super heavy and they're full. Yeah. OK? Wow. The apples. Depending on what time of year you're in, you could actually use pears, OK? I'm going to start off with just a touch of oil, just a little touch, OK?
What oil are you using?
It's a little bit of vegetable oil. Right. But first off, I'm going to start the caramel. Sugar in, brown sugar, right? We spoke about those toffee apples earlier. Yeah. OK, that's a little bit too hot. I hope Gina's not watching. From there, a little bit of butter in there, OK? And start literally making that caramel. Now, be super careful here. Yeah. Apples in. And the idea now is just lightly caramelise them and send a little smoke signal to Gino's palace. Apples in. Like I said, across the winter, I could turn these into pears as well. Yeah. And the secret here now is to literally caramelise them. Now, the sweetness of the apples...
Look at those.
OK, we'll start glazing. They do look a little bit dark, but trust me, by the time we put the butter on there, and that lovely lady earlier with those cocktails, we're going to sort of take this thing to the next level. So we're going to give a little bit of a sort of, not a brandy, but a little contro.
God, they look incredible, though.
So now you can see that caramel going nice and beautifully glazing. A little touch more butter in there. Pears are beautiful, by the way, with this. OK, then when it gets to spring and summer, apricots. Beautiful as well. Same way, caramelised apricots. Now you can see sweetness is caramelised.
Can you smell it?
They got a nice toffee apple. A little touch of Cointreau, just a small amount in there.
Is that going to flame?
And just...
Whoa, yep.
Shiitake. And so how's that feel?
Oh, my God.
Unbelievable.
So, the eggy bread. Always crack eggs on a flat surface. I'm so fed up every time we see people cracking eggs on the side of a bowl. What happens? The shell goes in.
So what? Sorry, I missed that. On a flat... What? Really?
Yeah, it just stops the shell getting in. Oh. I've been telling Gino that for the last 10 years. He still won't listen, honestly. Through those cookbooks, every time he does a creme brulee, there's always shell in there.
Do you love him, really?
I absolutely adore him.
I know you
I swear to God. He's the biggest pain in the butt, I know.
Yeah.
But he's a lovely pain in the butt. Do you know why? He's just that sort of cuddly, adorable... little monster. Do you know, the one that you just sort of always want to refer back to when you want to cuddle.
Yeah.
High maintenance.
So yummy.
Yeah.
Seriously high maintenance. You do not want to sleep with him. In a sleeping blanket, he is a shocker.
This is for the show when you're all in the wagony, caravan-y thing?
In the RV.
And so in the RV, that's right.
So I'm dipping my croissants now in a little bit of egg. Okay.
Tonight at 9, by the way, if you want to watch the guys.
And then literally just side to side in and get them into the pan. Now, I like them when they're sort of left over and they're nice and firm because they maintain their shape. So don't leave them sitting in that egg, OK? Shake off that excess egg and then in there. Beautiful. Now, think what's happening. We're getting some crispy texture on the top of that beautiful croissant. Inside, we've got that custard that's going warm.
Just found
Look
that.
at those beautiful apples. OK, and now they've got really sort of caramelised and toffee and sort of almost perfectly done. What I'm going to do here is just put a touch of clotted cream. Phil, I know you like clotted cream, right?
I absolutely do. That's
just put that
heritage
into my apples, and that's going to make it a little bit richer, a little bit more sort of soury. And just look at these now. Before I turn them, a little bit of butter in there. Turn up the gas, or swap the rings, and look. Beautiful. Just lightly squash that down. It really is such a lovely way of using croissants over and over and over. Nice thing about it is you know the croissant's cooked, so don't go crazy in terms of having to worry. This is a breakfast, a brunch that can be put together literally in 10 minutes.
It's so lovely because it's soft, and then every so often you get a bit of caramel apple, and it's got like a crisp.
Yes.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a lovely treat if you're going to make some breakfast for someone, isn't it? This is...
Yeah, and also it's just anniversary, special, and, you know, it's just... Look, that is done. See, they've got a nice glaze on there now, and I hope that Gino is literally tuning in. Fred's upset, and he's trying to put on those tight trousers again. I'm just going to go around the side with my apples, but look at the toffee in there.
Stunning.
OK? So sometimes you start hitting that on top, it's going to make all that nice sort of crispy croissant somewhat soggy. But this is a showstopper when it hits the table.
It's really good.
And then finally, Phil, this is for you. Just a little bit of clotted cream. I use a hot spoon so it comes out beautifully.
Oh, that's very posh.
Sit that on top. There. A little dusting of that powdered sugar. I've got a little bit of sesame seed brittle here. OK, that gives that little bit of crunch, of texture. And then just sprinkle that over there. And I forgot the cinnamon powder. But that, honestly,
God,
is something...
that's stunning.
And
Thank
that was
you
what?
so
Amazing.
much.
7,
Thank
8
you.
minutes?
Thanks for today.
You are welcome.
He's on the telly tonight at 9, and this is the book, Gordon Ramsay, in 10. Thank you, mate.
Good to see you
For
both.
all of the details of today's recipe and more delicious ideas from our This Morning chefs, head to the Free This Morning app.